Hi, this week we have been exploring truth. We've seen that truth gives us something solid to stand on. We've seen that it can be discovered and even surprise us. But that raises another key question. In math, truth does not stand alone. It depends on where we start. Every proof begins with assumptions, and those assumptions shape what follows. We saw this with geometry in the previous week. For centuries, Euclid's geometry was considered the truth. But when mathematicians changed just one assumption, something quite remarkable happened. New geometries appeared. Literally, new worlds were created. Different conclusions, yet still completely logical. The reasoning did not break. The starting point changed. And that changed everything. Math makes this crystal clear. If you change the assumptions, you can change what is true within that system. Now let's consider how this shows up beyond math. Clearly, we all have starting points, assumptions about the world, about people, about truth itself. And those assumptions shape what we believe. You can see this clearly in how people approach something like the Bible. Some begin with the assumption that it must be read literally, like direct statements of truth. Others begin with the assumption that it is a collection of writings, stories, and poetry and history that need to be understood in context. Different starting points, different conclusions. And often the disagreement is not just about the conclusion, it is about the assumptions underneath it. And sometimes it's not just the assumptions that matter, it is how we reason from them. In math, we are careful about that. We do not just say something is true. We show why it follows. But outside of math, it is easy to slip into a different pattern. Sometimes, something is treated as true simply because it comes from a trusted source. And then that source is trusted because it is assumed to be true. That kind of reasoning circles back on itself. Now, that does not mean the conclusion is wrong, but it does mean we have not really examined how we got there. And when we do not examine our reasoning, we can become more focused on defending conclusions rather than understanding them. Math invites something different. It invites us to slow down, to look carefully at our starting points, and to ask whether what follows truly makes sense. Because truth does not just depend on logic. It also depends on where we begin and how honestly we follow the path from there. I've noticed when I become aware of that, something shifts or changes in me. I become less defensive and more curious. So my question today is, what assumptions am I starting with? And how is my reasoning shaping what I believe is true?